Bledisloe Cup, Game 1, 2021. The All Blacks play the Wallabies in the windiest place on the planet. New Zealand, Auckland, Eden Park. Okay? This has to be like one of the worst conditions to play in for and it's, if you ever wondered if God hates Australia, he does. Australia is hated by God, and this is the proof. For the first about 20 minutes, the wind was so bad, Australia were not able to even get the ball like 10 meters down the park when they get a penalty. So Tom Banks was kicking the ball for penalties for lineouts. They only goes to like 10, 20 meters max. Really, really strong wind. And Australia were not able to capitalize a lot of the penalties the All Blacks were giving away in the first half because the wind. They just cannot cannot get in range to kick the wind, to kick a penalty, even though they're inside the All Blacks half. And when they do get the kick for the line out, it only goes like 10, 20 meters. So really, really difficult position. And the wind kind of died off in the second half, so it was not nearly as much of an issue when the All Blacks were playing. Yeah, really, really bad. God hates Australia, guys. There it is. Now the results, it's a draw. What? It's a draw. Yeah, it's a draw. Look, it's a draw. 4 tries each, and what is it? Four conversions, 3 penalty goals. It's a draw. Okay. The difference here, it's God hates Australia, basically. That's God doing his thing, helping out New Zealand. That's the difference. That's the 8-point difference. That's the God margin right there. Okay. It's a draw. Don't argue with me. Okay. Anyway, so this game had a few really interesting stuff going into this game. The All Blacks were really poor, despite having the win on their half in the first half, and there was a lot of handling errors. And Brodie Retallick played really poorly this game, despite the fact that he's been nominated for being one of the greatest All Blacks second rower of all time. Like, are you kidding me? Like, both of these guys are still playing, and they're nominated for the greatest of all time. Anyway, so based on this performance, it was pretty poor. And I don't see him being nominated, getting the greatest of all time based on his performance in this game. Plenty of the penalties given out, poor, low tackle rates. He got away with 2 accidental offsides that could have been penalized, where there was a ball where he got away with 2 accidental offsides where the referee said he didn't play the ball. But still, you can't just deny Australia advantage by not playing the ball in an offside position. But anyway, he got away with 2 of those. The lineouts were really poor for Australia in the first half, probably due to the wind, but also just poor in general. Like Australia had like 6 lineouts in the first 10 minutes, and 5 of them went awry, basically. And Hunter Paisami in the center position, I talked about in my preview. There was a lot of I'm kind of concerned about Paisami and Ikitau up against Antonina Brown and Havili. Pretty close matchup in the first half, at least, where Hunter Paisami were able to probably get it better off over the New Zealand duos. But in the second half, Paisami really did fall off a little bit. Lots of drop balls by Paisami. And also, Len Ikitau played more of a 12 position, and Paisami played more of a 13 position at the 12 position, basically. So Ikitau was doing a lot of the tactical kicking, whereas Paisami was doing just hard crash ball running and not really passing the ball, linking up with his players on the outside. So that's my criticism for him. But he did put on a couple of good shots against Havili. And another matchup that was quite important is the front row matchup. First half, front row was 50-50. Both teams were penalized for small mistakes. But in the second half, the Tongan Thor came on. He, for the first time this year, he's actually met his match. Tui Nuku'afe came on as the Lucia prop, as answers to Tongan Thor. Really did a bit of number on him. And yeah, the Tongan Thor, he really did not, he struggled a little bit. And he did actually get penalized by Tui Nuku'afe for basically churning him out. Yeah. The All Blacks had a pretty poor first half in the first half, but the Wallabies had a pretty poor first half in the second half. The defense were off, and the All Blacks, for about 30 minutes in the second half, really kicked into ascendancy and just like ran the Wallabies over, and it looked really bad. Missed tackles everywhere for the Wallabies. The All Blacks just rolling in forward, and yeah, just pumped out like basically 4 tries in the middle, like half of the just before and after half time. So it was like really, really big, and it was looking really bad for the Wallabies till the last 10 minutes, where the All Blacks just went switched off, and the Wallabies were able to score 3 tries in 10 minutes to put the All Blacks on the notice board. So the Wallabies scored 3 tries in 10 minutes to catch up. And and Tom Banks was absolutely a superhuman. He scored 2 tries in like 3 minutes, and just beautiful individual. Just amazing performance by Tom Banks in the second half. And the All Blacks, Fozzie would not be happy about that. Overall there was about 30 minutes where the All Blacks looked like the All Blacks, and for the large part of the first half, the All Blacks looked rusty and really like a lot of small mistakes, and the last 10 minutes just looked like they fell asleep. It was pretty bad. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the stats for the game. 390 run meters for the All Blacks, 258 for the Wallabies, 21 defenders beaten for the All Blacks, 19 for the Wallabies. Turnovers conceded, 10 for the All Blacks, 8 for the Wallabies. That's a number that the All Blacks really wanted to improve. Tackle, 112 for the All Blacks, 19 missed tackles. They really wanted to pick that up a little bit. And tackle count for Wallabies, 125 and 21 missed tackles. So not great for both. Could pick that a little bit more. But the telling number here against the All Blacks is the missed tackles in the first half. So first half, the All Blacks only had to make 26 tackles, and they missed 8. 8 missed tackles out of 26. The Wallabies had to make 67 tackles and 9 missed tackles. And that is really, really bad for the All Blacks in the first half. And also, let's have a look at some of the kicks in play. 15 kicks, that's actually really low. So Fozzie kind of kept to his words. He didn't want to see too much kicking. And that's kind of like what All Blacks did. And there was one point the All Blacks almost got a 95-meter try by running the ball out of their own 5-meter line. And they almost scored due to a forward pass received by Bodie Retallick. Again, not being offside. It's receiving a forward pass and try denied. But yeah, the Fozzie did, kind of stick to his words. 15 kicks in play is on the low side of international rugby. Normally, it's around 25. Sometimes goes up to 30, 35 in an international game. So 25, that's pretty much the average what the Wallabies did for international rugby. This is really low. So Fozzie did, credits to Sir Fozzie. He did really tell the players not to do much kicking. Conversions, really poor get day for Lolosio. Only 2 out of 7. The wind did play a large part of it, but still in the second half, where the wind is with Lolosio, he still weren't able to get a good rate in terms of his conversion. So it's still not good enough. Whereas Richie Muonga kicking into the wind did miss 2 from an angle, pretty much similar position from Lolosio's missed kicks, where the ball kind of goes in and just gets pushed wide, pushed out by the wind as he sails across the goalpost, right? So not so much better for Muonga, but Lolosio was really poor. This is the worst kicking I've ever seen from Lolosio, to be honest. And yeah. Anyway, lineouts, perfect lineouts for the All Blacks. 3 lineouts lost to the Wallabies, and I like pretty much all of that. Yeah, pretty much all of that happened in the first 10 minutes, and we shall talk about it in a minute. Scrums, 1 scrum had lost for the All Blacks, and I think this was due to what's his name? Let me have a look. I think this was in the second half where there was a loose head win by what's his name? Angus Bell. Yeah, so Angus Bell did a nice loose head win in the second half, whereas the Wallabies lost 2 scrums. I think one in the first half and one in the second half to Tupou, where Tui Nukuafe, did a number on him when he came on the field. And this is something that Surf Aussie is going to lose a lot of hair. 18 penalties piled up in the second half, especially in the last 10 minutes. Just penalties after penalties after penalties. Probably should have got a yellow card. But yeah, that was really bad. So you've just to give you an idea how bad the All Blacks performed in the second half. The penalty count was 7 in the first half. Not great. And then it swelled to 18 by the end of the second half. So lots of penalties given out. The Wallabies had 5 penalties conceded in the first half, and then they conceded 4 more in the second half. Some player stats. So the attacking team for the All Blacks forward pack, it's what was it? This one. Akio Ioane in the forwards, 10 carries, 33 meters, extremely good, and obviously Richie Mo'unga. 6 runs, 80 meters. One of these runs where he almost got a try from like a 95 meter, almost scored a 95 meter run try. Yeah, spectacular performance by Richie Mo'unga. And look at the defense. So lots of missed tackles here for the All Blacks, save with Reese, Havili. But Havili had to make a lot of tackles there. Everybody else seems to be pretty decent. Brodie Retallick, 1 missed tackle out of 4. It's pretty high, not that great. Work rate's not that high for a second rower. If you watch like the Springboks, you should be in double digits in tackling as a second rower. So that is really low for Retallick. Sam Wylock, it's on par 11. So 3 tackles as a second rower, and 1 that's really, really poor. So Retallick, really poor game for him overall. Again, penalty given away. Retallick, only 2 recorded. Could have been like 4. This, like I said, there was 2 accidental offsides that wasn't given, and this doesn't track in like knock-ons and everything. The amount of knock-ons the Retallick has got. There was a try denied where he caught the ball forward pass. Yeah, really, really, really poor performance by Retallick. I'm surprised that Fozzie kept him on the field for like 65, 70 minutes before he was subbed off. So yeah, I thought he would have taken him off after the first half. The extremely poor performance in the first half by Brodie Retallick. Let's have a quickly look at the Wallabies stats. So let's look at discipline. Pretty decent. Tupou had 2 penalties given in the second half. One of them is a scrum penalty. So yeah, not very happy. But overall, pretty good for the Wallabies. Defense. That's really good for Jem Slipper. 13 tackles and no missed tackle. That is amazing effort by Jem Slipper. And look at Valentini, Lolakai Solo, Darcy Swain, Harry Wilson, 14 tackles, 15 tackles, 2 missed tackles. Not too bad for the percentage. 2 missed tackles out of 15 tackles. Who else was in the second row? Lolakai Solo, Toto. Yeah, both of the Wallabies second rowers aren't making as many tackles as they probably should be. But still, 3 for Brodie Retallick. If you look at the Springbok stats, Ibn Isbeth gets like 12, 13 tackles, double-digit tackles, and also, the Springbok second rowers gets like double-digit tackles pretty much consistently every game. So this is not great, but still better than 3. And attacking, some quick run meters. Callaway, like I said, I was very surprised he did so well. He was 10 runs, 53 meters. That is really good. Like for first time being starting team against the All Blacks in Eden Park, that is spectacular. Spectacular. Have to give him a round of applause. That's like magnificent. And he scored a try as well. His kicking was really good. Yeah, I can't say much about it. So in the back, in the forwards, not much running by any of the forwards. Paenga Mosa, Jordan Ulesi had a bit of run in the second half, but yeah, not too much by the forwards in terms of attacking for the Australian team. Yeah, so that's the overall. Let's have a look at the details let's go through some of the detailed play breakdown. So like I said, the game has been really, really scrappy for the first 30 minutes or so. Right away, the Wallabies got a penalty about a minute and a half into the game, and they weren't 40 meters out into the angle. And this is where you kind of realize that the wind is a big factor, because it's normally a kickable range for Lolosio, and they couldn't go for the kick right from the start. So you're like, why are you not going for the points? And then the ball gets passed to what's his name? So the ball. So this penalty was given at the 40-meter mark, and the ball gets passed to Tom Banks to kick it out for the sideline. He only kicks to just about 20 meters outside of the All Blacks 22. You were expecting this to be inside the 22? No, it's just literally outside the All Blacks 22. So the wind is so strong, it literally only gained 20 meters from the penalty. So really, really difficult time for Australia. And once again, God hates us. But yeah, so it was pretty bad. And where was I? Oh yeah, so then for the next 10 minutes, right? Get this. For the next 10 minutes, the Wallabies had how many? 6 lineouts in the next 10 minutes. And all 6 lineouts, so 5 out of the 6 lineouts was not straight. There was like 1 not straight. There was 1 knock on. There was 1 overthrown and All Blacks recovered. And then there was like 1 where All Blacks kind of messed up, like challenging the Wallabies, didn't get it clean. So, and then there was another one, I think the All Blacks also kind of messed up the Wallabies lineout. So 5 unclean lineouts out of 6. Only the 6th one where the Wallabies were able to finally tidy it up. But and this was on the 6th one at a 10-minute mark, finally get that clean. And Wallabies were trying to run the ball. Obstruction into one of the Paul Harris runs to one of their own players. Penalty for the All Blacks, 50 meters out. And the All Blacks gets the first kick for a line out. Penalty kick for a line out. He sails inside the Australian 22. He went like 60 meters. And the All Blacks gets the first line out around 10 meters out from the Wallabies try line. The wind is horrendous. It's really, really annoying to see that. Like, so many opportunities for Australia just not going anywhere because of the wind. And the All Blacks, the first opportunity they gets like a 60-meter kick for the touch. Oh, just horrendous to watch. So anyway, the All Blacks gets the line-out thrown in. The line-out goes to the morning, didn't go anywhere. Really good defense by the Wallabies. Hunter Paisame puts a huge hit on one of the, I think it was Havili, and he knocks the ball out off the All Blacks' hand. So yeah, the ball gets recovered by the Wallabies, and Ikitau were able to do a really, really good kick against the wind. You went from inside the Australian 22 all the way to 10 meters into the All Blacks half. So yeah, that was, don't know how he did it, but like the wind just died when he kicked it or something. But yeah, that was a really huge kick from him against the wind. And yeah, not sure how that worked, but anyway. So anyway, the All Blacks gets the ball, starts running back into the Australian half again. There was a knock on again by the All Blacks, and I think this was Brodie Retallick knocked on. But yeah, anyway, there was knock on just inside the Wallabies half in around the 40-meter line, and scrum goes in. James Super gets penaltied for folding the scrum. He fell over. And All Blacks gets a kick from this 48 meters out. It is like in the middle of the field, 48 meters out. But yeah, Richie Muonga had to get Silver Reese to hold the ball up, kicks the ball, he just sailed through. Like the ball, the ball was, so this is the goalpost, and the ball went all the way over the top of the goalpost from like almost a 50-meter kick. That shows you how much wind this was. You went like another 30 meters after you went past the goalpost. It was a huge kick. And yeah, so the win was just unbelievable for this part of the game. So 3 points to nil, 15 minutes in for the All Blacks. A few minutes later, the Australian kicked off, and the All Blacks returned the kick back down to Tom Banks. He gets falconed in the head, smack right in the forehead from this high ball. It looked like it's going to hurt. And knock on for the All Blacks. I'm getting a bit cold here. Anyway, he gets falconed, knock on. All Blacks gets a scrum right in front of the Australian goalpost. And you're like, oh boy, this is not really good. The scrum goes down just outside Australian 22. Australia gets penalised again for boring in. And there, this time is much easier kick right in front, 22 minutes out. Richard Mwanga slots this one, 6 points to nil, 20 minutes into the game. And then Wallabies did some really good play. So there was a lot of jockeying for position in the center field. Wallabies were on the attack, spread the ball out wide, and Callaway found himself in open space. And he ran like 20 meters, and he saw space behind, and he kicked the ball behind. The ball rolled into the All Blacks try zone. I think D-Mac gets it, plants the ball down. So for the first time ever, now the rules, they're playing under the new rules. So red card only goes up for 20 minutes. And also, if the ball gets grounded in goal, it's a goal line dropout, not a 22-minute dropout. So this was the first ever goal line dropout international rugby. All Blacks kicks the ball out. Australia gets an opportunity to attack again. Gets just outside the All Blacks 22. Building phases. Eventually, the All Blacks were penalised again for offside. And Wallabies finally, you're thinking to yourself, able to get some points on the board. This was just 20 minutes out, 22 minutes out. This is definitely kickable range. On a bit of an angle, 15 meters in from the sideline. But it's still 22 meters out, pretty close. Pretty windy. Bledisloe kicks it. And the wind just literally pushed the ball out across the front of the goalpost. It was really bad wind. It just went, whoop, see ya. It was really bad. And I like this, I thought for sure would have been 3 points. So no points for Australia there. Missed goal. And then 5 minutes later, the game played on. There was a bit played in centre field. Wallabies gets penalised for not releasing inside their own half, around 14 meters out, 15 meters in. Pretty much the same spot that the Bledisloe just missed, but instead of 22 meters out, this is the 14 meters out for the All Blacks. And Richie Mwanga slots this one quite easily with the wind. 9 points to nil, 28 minutes in. And then the Wallabies had to lift. So there was the kickoff goes to David Havili. And I think this is Callaway chasing. He charges Havili's kick down, right? And Havili kind of tried to pick the ball up. He charges down and there was a bit of a scramble. I think Havili towed the ball forward a little bit. And then Brodie Retallick was in the offside position. And he kind of pushed the ball back. And then Havili kicked the ball out. Without picking the ball up, he tried it again, kicked the ball out. So technically, Brodie Retallick was offside when Havili kind of towed the ball forward for the second time. And then Brodie Retallick kind of pushed the ball back, and then he kicked the ball out. So that should have been a penalty, but the referee didn't call it. But anyway, not a big deal. Probably not going to get the kick anyway due to the wind. So I wasn't too disappointed. To be really frank, I thought, that's literally the same spot. Bledisloe missed a minute ago, right? A few minutes ago. So I wasn't too concerned about that one. So the All Blacks, so they kicked it out. Australia gets so kick the ball out. So Australia gets the line out. The line out comes in. Australia built 2 phases. And Brodie Retallick gets penalised officially this time for offside. And this was right in the middle. Better position than the accidental offside. And finally, Bledisloe able to get 3 points on the board for the Wallabies. 3 points to 9. So, really poor performance by Brodie Retallick already. And it's only 30 minutes into the game. He didn't get penalised for offside. He get penalised for high tackle on McDermott. He did the seatbelt tackle, kind of slided up on McDermott's face. So that's the first 3 points given away by Brodie Retallick. And then about the game settled down a little bit. Around the 35-meter mark, there was a lot of handling errors for the All Blacks. Eventually, the Wallabies were able to get on the front foot, build a few phases, and Brodie Retallick gets penalised for offside, just inside the All Blacks half. So back-to-back penalties for Brodie Retallick, and the ball gets kicked out by the Wallabies, and this is where one of the greatest line-out moves I've ever seen. Okay, imagine this line-out, right? The ball gets thrown in, okay, from the sideline all the way to center field to the center. Hunter Paisami runs up and catches the ball center field position from a line-out. And he runs an angle into Havili, busts through the tackle, go through for a break. D-Mac comes up to try to tackle him. He had Callaway out inside of him for support. Pops the ball to Callaway. Callaway runs in for a try. Oh man, that was so good. I was screaming so hard when this happened. It was just spectacular try. I've never seen a move like this ever before. Just the ball literally gets thrown 25 meters infield, straight to the center, to the inside center, skips past the halfback, skips past the number 10, straight to center. Never seen that before. And gets scored a try. Yeah, so I literally almost melted, like my brain melted how this worked out, how the ball went from the sideline to the center, inside center, from a line-out throw. I don't know, but it happened. And resulted in an Australian try. It was just, so beautiful, so beautiful to watch. The best, one of the best looking lineouts I've ever seen. And anyway, due to the win again, Bledisloe missed the conversion. Really, really bad. And it looked like the Australia could go into halftime with only 8 points to 9, only 1 point behind. But on the 38th minute, there was a lot of kicking game. And again, Nicky Tao managed a really beautiful kick. And then Michael Hooper gets penalized for advancing in front of the kicker. And it was a penalty called by the referee on the sideline. Kiwi referees. Anyway, he gets penalized. So the All Blacks, in the dying minute of the first half, gets a penalty opportunity to go for a try. They kick the ball out for a line out. The line out comes in, they set up for a maul, and the maul gets collapsed, almost goes over. Cody Taylor gets tackled just before the line. And then there was a penalty against Australia, and the All Blacks is piling pressure. Pick and dry. 2 pick and dries later, it was really close. Seven Reese, the sneaky little man, runs in. All right, look like he's gonna play the halfback. Pick up the ball, that's over for the try. Okay, you thought like a forward would be there to do the pick and go, but Seven Reese runs in and goes, I want to be a forward today. I want to score an egg pie. Pick and go, try. So Seven Reese scores the first try for the All Blacks in the dying second in the first half. Richie Mo'unga slots this one. 16 points to 8 halftime. Yeah, not really good. So halftime, some notes I've had for the halftime. So the centre field combination for the Wallabies was slightly better. Ikitau playing more like a number 12. And Hunter Paisami playing more like a number 13. Where he's crashing the ball, not really linking up with his players. Whereas Ikitau were actually playing like all of the tactical kicking as well. So really interesting. And they definitely outperformed Havili and Anton Brown. Anton Brown didn't even get the ball in the first half, I don't think. I was really, really surprised in the first half. The All Blacks had a slightly better scrum in the first half, but both teams gave away penalties both ways, right? The lineouts for Australia was really poor in the first half, like I mentioned, and the All Blacks scrum was pretty good. So run meters, 134 for the All Blacks, 112 for the Wallabies in the first half. 9 defenders beaten for the All Blacks, 8 for the Wallabies. 7 turnovers conceded against the All Blacks, and 3 turnovers conceded against the Wallabies. Tackle count, like I mentioned, 26 tackles and 8 missed tackles. So 26 tackles made, 8 missed. So 26 tackles made, 8 missed tackles. 67 tackles made for Australia, 9 missed tackles. So the All Blacks missed tackle count was really, really, really high in the first half. Kicking was, pretty bad for Australia, and it was perfect for the All Blacks. 4 out of 4 and 1 out of 3 halftime. Yeah. Anyway, so lineouts, three lineouts for the All Blacks, 0 loss. 7 lineouts for the Wallabies, 7. in the first half, 3 lost and 7 penalties for the All Blacks, 15 against the Wallabies in the first half. So, yeah. Anyway, straight away from the kickoff, second half starts straight from the kickoff. Brodie Retallick gets penalized for straight away from the kickoff, Brodie Retallick gets penalized for not rolling away after making a tackle. Again, the stats said he made 2 mistakes, 2 penalties. This is the third one I have recorded down. So the stats are probably wrong. So Brodie Retallick, they missed one. Because sometimes the referee, anyway, he gets done for not rolling away. And then the Wallabies had a 50-meter line out halfway. They put a high ball up. Several Reece knocked on. And so that was just... And then the Wallabies were able to build, following this knock on, to build more pressure into the All Blacks half. But just little mistakes. Really let the All Blacks... it's just a little mistake. The All Blacks were able to turn the ball over. And the All Blacks got the ball turned over just outside their own try line. So 5 meters off from their own try line. And they decided to spread the ball out wide for a try. Richie Mo'unga gets the ball. He sees the defender coming up. He slips through he shrugs off the tackle, slips through the first defender. He runs through. He throws the ball back throws the ball out wide to Rieko Ioane. He ran 30 meters. He throws it back back in field to what's his name? Number 9, Aaron Smith. His 100th test, by the way. Aaron Smith throws a pass to Brodie Retallick, and he was sliding forward. So you probably would have been not caught forward, but the fact is it was on this halfway line, and the line really obviously showed that Retallick received Aaron Smith passed the ball. He was behind the line, and Retallick caught the ball in front of the halfway line. So it was just that. But anyway, the game played on. Retallick ran forward as he's getting tackled. He offloaded to Havili. Havili had a huge line outside supporting him. Pass to Adi Savia, pass to Seven Reece. Seven Reece goes in. Looked like it was one of the most beautiful tries of the year by the All Blacks. Referee goes back for the review. Retallick, forward pass from Aaron Smith. Greatest of all time, Brodie Retallick. Anyway, so the All Blacks got denied that. Few minutes later, once again, Australia were building phases, going for. So there was just inside the All Blacks half, outside the 22. They're going forward actually, and they were just pounding pressure. 7 phases later, there was a bit of rush defense up to the Australians decided to strip ball out wide. Bit of rush defense to Hunter Paisami. He tries to throw a cutout, a long pass to Jordan Patea, and Patea was on the win. Anyway, Richie Mo'unga read the pass perfectly. Intercepts the ball. So this is a bit of a mistake by Patea's part, right? So if you imagine, Richie Mo'unga, he's not there to intercept the goal. He's there to make the tackle. He's actually there to make the tackle. But the thing is, Patea was on the on the outside. Richie Mo'unga was on the inside, so the ball was coming in. Richie Mo'unga just happens to be inside to receive the ball before Patea. Patea needed to cut himself back in this situation to run into the ball to catch it, but Patea stayed out, so Mo'unga were able to run in to catch the ball. So it wasn't really like a huge intercept. It was actually Mo'unga being positioned to make the tackle, and he just happens to be inside. It's Patea's mistake for not cutting back in to receive the ball, and he just happens to catch the ball. It is an intercept, yes, but he was just it was just more of the fact that Patea was out of position, which led to Richie Mo'unga the opportunity to catch the ball as he's coming in to make the tackle. That's basically what happened. It's not really he initially Mwanga isn't there to get the intercept. He's there to make the tackle. And the intercept just became available because Jordan Patea ran out of position, basically. And anyway, regardless, Richie Mo'unga intercepts this ball, runs 60, 70 meters, scores the try. That's why his run meter is so high, by the way. That's just God mode from Richie Mo'unga after a beautiful try beat denied a few minutes earlier. And but the conversion, he gets the conversion here as well. And All Blacks pulls ahead further. And 52 minutes, so after this try was scored on the 51st minute, 1 minute later, Tongan Thor comes on the field. There was from the kickoff, Australia received another penalty, which is really good, so really want to strike back. So Australia takes the penalty, kicks the ball downfield for a 5-meter line out. It's set up for a more. The more gets pushed back, and eventually the ball comes out. The ball goes to Hunter Paisami. Hunter Paisami runs up for a big hit up on David Havili. He knocks down David Havili, but then he loses the ball. And he did so much effort to put Havili down. He didn't have enough to secure his own ball. He loses the ball. So a little bit disappointing. A few minutes later, on the 56th minute, Anton Nene-Brown gets a bit of a knock on. So there was a scrum. And first scrum for Tupou against Carl Tuinuku. What is it? Carl Tuinuku Afe. And Carl just smashed Tongan Thor for a tight head win. Loose head win, actually. And Australia lost the ball. And so there's a penalty. Leads to a quick tap at DMAC, which leads to a bunch of offside. So then the All Blacks goes for the line out after the offsides. And then the line out comes in. Australia and the All Blacks just build pressure. And lots of pressure later. They were just about a meter out from the try line. And then Aaron Smith looks to the blind side, sees Havili on the wing against Lolosio, who's really poor tackling this game. He passed, I think it wasn't Lolosio, I think it was it Lolosio or was it? Yeah, I think it was Lolosio. Passes the ball to Havili. Havili, big man, tried to step Lolosio. Lolosio was flying around. He did eventually make the tackle. Havili gets really close to the line. He reaches out with his long arms, gets the try. Third try for the All Blacks. And this time, Richie Mo'unga misses the conversion because the wind. This was quite a big angle on the corner, and the wind is a bit of an issue. Not as bad as the first half because they no longer need someone to hold the ball up for the kicks anymore. So God hates Australia. Anyway, 60th minute, another really hard running by Paisami again, and he gets knocked on again. He runs in, he busts a bunch of tackles, and he gets knocked on. The ball gets, anyway. Paisami again, his center position, he's not really linking up with his outside center. I don't think Ikitau actually got much of an opportunity to crash the ball at all. But anyway, 3 minutes later, 63rd minute, All Blacks moving forward again. There was a big run by Tuinaka Afe. Did I say Tuinaka Afe? Anyway, let me just get his name correctly. Taki Aho, sorry. Not Tuinuku Afe. Taki Aho. He gets on the field. He coming in for Dan Coles, who's apparently had a bit of injury during the warm-up. So he gets on the field. And he gets a really nice run. Again, All Blacks going forward. Big running from him. There was massive blindside again, and almost identical play, but this time receiving the ball was DMAC. He throws the ball. Aaron Smith throws the ball to DMAC. DMAC gets tackled by Jordan Patea. Swoops the quad, try to tackle, but DMAC was too close to the line. Dots the ball down for the fourth try for the All Blacks. A flurry of tries. 3 tries in less than 10, just over 10 minutes. And then, really bad defense by Wallabies. Constantly going back in. This was looking really bad at this point. Still 20 minutes left. But the Wallabies were able to pull themselves together. There was yeah, so we're able to get it better. So on the 66th minute, Fraser McStright gets on the field, managed to turn the ball over for a penalty. So the penalty gets kicked out for a 10-minute line out. So the maul comes in. All Blacks are penalised for entering the maul on the wrong side. So another penalty. Australia kicks the ball out again for second line out, second maul, and they were just building phases. Crash ball, crash ball, crash ball. 9 crash balls later, they were right on the goalpost, not going over. Finally, the ball comes out. There was space out wide. Spread the ball out wide. Quick hands. Tom Banks gets the ball. Still had one person outside of him. Didn't need him. Just jogs in for the second try for the Wallabies. And then Beauden Barrett was on for the second half at this point, and the conversion was missed. On the 71st minute, the All Blacks gets Beauden Barrett pretty much the first time he touched the ball, tried to kick the clearance, the kick out. They tried to clearance kick inside his 22 after receiving a high ball. He gets charged down. The ball went out on the... so the All Blacks had to do like a defensive line out inside their own 22. So yeah, Beauden Barrett, really poor. Anyway, following the line out, there was a bit of play where the All Blacks knocked on. On the 74th minute, there was a scrum, okay? And Angus Bell did something that Tongan thought couldn't do. He won a penalty against Angus Tauval. And really, really impressive. Loose head penalty over the tight head. It was like really good option for the Australians. They go for a line out. The ball comes in. This was, I think, just outside the New Zealand 22, 75 minutes. And the Australian... So after this penalty was scored, there was no line out, The Tate McDermott takes a quick tap. He gets just outside the All Blacks 22. The ball comes back out. A couple phases later, Lola Seal gets the ball. He sees space out wide behind the All Blacks for the quick push defense coming up. So he puts a grubber kick behind. Tom Banks runs through. He gets there first. There was an All Blacks player on him. So he toes the ball forward into the end zone. He runs up, dots the ball down. Second try for Tom Banks. Third try for the Wallabies. And suddenly Wallabies are catching back up. And this was looking really good. However, the conversion was missed again. 3 tries. And the Wallabies missed another conversion. So really, really poor. And the All Blacks at this point were just giving the penalties left and right in the last 10 minutes. Falling apart. The referee has to giving out warnings to the All Blacks. Anyway, eventually on the 79th minute, the All Blacks gave away another penalty from their own lineout. Basically the All Blacks had their own lineout. They did a thing where they tried to throw the ball in over, and one of the backs come up to catch it, and the backs got a little bit too eager. They started running before the lineout was thrown, and the referee called the All Blacks lineout offside. So with 1 minute left, Wallabies had one last chance to score a try. So Wallabies decided to tap and go because this was already just inside the All Blacks, inside the All Blacks 40 meter basically. Tap and go, gets tackled, and then All Blacks gets caught offside, and then the Wallabies goes for one last chance for a line out, 5 meter line out. The ball comes in, the maul sets up the maul, trying to rolls, didn't really go anywhere, but Ulesi, the reserve hooker, gets the ball, spots a gap, peels off, charges through, scores the 4th try for the Wallabies. The conversion was good, but it was too late. Could have been a draw. 33 points to 25, the final score. First game, Bledisloe Cup, it's in the books. And scrappy game for both teams. God hates Australia. Why? Why, God? What have I done? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. So the game is definitely on next week. This could be interesting to see what happens next week, because the All Blacks definitely did not have the best performance, whilst the Wallabies both teams had the periods where they've fallen off. And overall, like I said, the score could have been equal, because both teams had 4 tries, 3 penalties apiece, so it could have been much closer. And if the wind had played in favour of the Wallabies, or if there wasn't a wind in the first half, the score could have been much closer. And could have gone both ways, actually much closer than the scoreboard showed. And it was looking pretty bad at one point, but the Wallabies did able to come back. And Fozzie's probably not going to be happy with that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. And I'll see you guys later for the Lions tour review. Cheers.